Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Naiya and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here and you learned something today, make sure to subscribe. Today this video is about how to be successful as a first year law student. I know, the scariest year of law school, the year where you don't know what to expect, what to do, what does law school come with, and I'm about to give you the tea. Yes, I'm gonna give you everything I wish I knew, and hopefully my advice can help your 1L year feel not as heavy. The first piece of advice is very simple, but not everybody does this. Make sure you attend every single class. I know that sometimes you might not be in the mood to go or you might be late from traffic, but guys, it is very important to make sure that you have made it to every class in law school. Missing one class can make you so confused. It's almost like math. Every class is a buildup of the first class or the class before it, so you want to make sure that you're at least present in every class. And if you do find yourself to be absent, make sure that you have a friend or somebody that you at least connected enough with to give you notes from that day. Or if you're lucky like me in my school, some professors record the class on Zoom and you can go back and watch it. My second piece of advice for any law student is to sit in the front of the class, in the first row, in the middle. I know that might feel like you're setting yourself up for failure, but I promise you, having that direct first year experience, putting yourself in the heart, in the heat of it, will help you be more successful in your second year, and you won't be as nervous, you won't be as scared, you'll be used to getting cold calls, or you'll just be used to absorbing all the knowledge and not get distracted by other students who are either on their computer, on their phone, or talking, since you being in the first row will help you be more focused. Yes, I know. My third piece of advice will be to write notes every single class. I know that this might sound like basic college advice, but law school, your notes are so much heavier to where you might not feel like writing every single thing down or writing every rule of law from a case. But the truth and the difference between law school and other degrees is that in law school, every rule matters. So you never know what you're going to be tested on from the beginning of the semester to the end. Most professors, they don't do like, oh, this is the first half, you don't have to have anything remembered for that for the final. No, everything from the first day of class to the last day of class counts and is free game on your final. So you want to make sure that you have notes from day one. That is very important. Number 4, my next piece of advice is to make sure you go to every single class prepared. In law school, we are very reading heavy. You could read over 100 pages for just one class. I highly recommend that you either know every single case before you go to class, because you can get cold called. Cold calling is real in law school, and cold calling is basically when a professor just calls your name, and everybody gets cold called in any class. So before any class you go to, I highly recommend that you read every single case, or you at least get a summary of what's going on, whether you book brief, whether you write down an actual IRAC, whatever helps you in the first year to be ready to get cold called. Some people are able to remember a case just from highlighting it in a book, and other people have to make notes. My first year, I had to make notes of what the facts was, what the issue, what the rule, what the analysis, what the conclusion was, but some people were able just to highlight and know every single thing based off their highlighting. So if you know that you can remember a case, then that's good. You could probably just book brief, but me, I had to like note brief in the beginning, and now I book brief. And this leads to my next piece of advice. Do not go into class unprepared, and if you are going to, make sure that you at least look at Quimby. Quimby is a website that breaks down all the cases for you. It gives the facts, it gives the issue, it gives the ruling, it gives the analysis, it gives the conclusion, the rule of law, what your professors are exactly looking for. The issue is most professors have been teaching their courses for a long time, and they know when something is being read directly from Quimby, but sometimes, you know, it happens. I would rather be prepared and say something than not say anything. So Quimby can help you get an idea of the case, and in emergencies, you know, you have Quimby. But I would not rely on it, as a lot of professors get annoyed when you read from Quimby and they feel like you're like missing the rule pulling, that mental process of understanding what is going on by just being given an answer, which is why they don't recommend Quimby typically in the first year. So I will say do not use Quimby, but use Quimby in emergencies, or use Quimby on top of what you're reading to help yourself understand what's going on. That's what I do. I'll read and then I'll Quimby it to make sure that I have the understanding I'm supposed to have, and that will help you. My next piece of advice is to use supplements. There is Barbary, there is Studicata. Studicata is good for first year students. It will break down every first year course for you, whether it's constitutional law, whether it's property, whether it's civil procedure, whether it is torts, whether it's contracts. If you're struggling with any of those classes, Studicata is like a video program that kind of goes into what you need to know from every subject, although I do recommend sticking to also what your professor tells you. It's important because what you will soon realize in law school is that every professor is teaching the way that they want you to learn. So they might want you to say the rule of law specifically how they said it in class, not from a general understanding. Some professors want you to say things exactly how they would say it. So you got to make sure you know your professor. And again, these are all just supplements. Do not lean on this as your learning, but lean on this as your help when you don't understand. My next piece of advice is to always go to office hours if you are struggling, because no subject from a class goes unmissed. It will either show up on your midterm, on your final, in a practice essay. You know, professors really make sure that you are doing what you're supposed to do in law school. There is no falling behind, and if you are, they will know, because you'll have an assignment come up that's about your previous lesson or a lesson before it, and they really are seeing how much you're paying attention, how much you're remembering, how much you're studying, how much you are taking for notes. So make sure you're going to office hours if you don't understand something, because I promise it will come up. Even if you feel like, you know, you can get by without knowing, it will come up. Another piece of advice is to join organizations and clubs. A lot of organizations have outlines from previous professors, specifically from your school. So if you don't do anything, join an organization, at least one. And the outline is all the notes you need from a class from the same people who took the same professor, or at least the same class at your personal school. So it can help you. Outlines from other students are so helpful, are so important. If you ever miss a class, if you ever don't understand a subject, maybe they had better notes. So you want to join an organization, because that will also help you meet upperclassmen, people who are in different sections from you, from the same year as you. And also, it's just beneficial. It's beneficial to meet people who are in different sections than you, and also in different grades than you. I don't want to say grades, but like 1L, 2L, 3L. And that is why I say that you should at least know one person in the grade ahead of you, because they have taken more classes from you. They might be able to give you advice. They might be able to tell you what professor not to take or to take. They might tell you certain classes that are harder. They can give you like the 411 on law school, and that will help you kind of navigate and decide what to do, what to take after you take your first year required courses. That's why I say it's good to join organizations as a 1L, because you'll have that insight before you even go into your 2L year. My advice number 8 or 9 is to make sure that you are understanding the rule of law. In every single case, you're going to get a rule of law, and that's basically what you're going to have to apply to every factual situation that is similar, and you have to remember the rule. The rule is the biggest thing you need to take away from every single case, and the rule will guide you to at least know if the facts from your case is either similar or not similar based on the rule and how it applies. So it will help you for essay questions and your essay exams when it's time. A lot of professors in law school don't really give multiple choice exams. It's either going to be multiple choice and an essay, or it's mainly going to be essays. So yeah, but it's always going to at least have an essay. Only like once have I had a final that is only multiple choice. So the reason why you want to really remember the rule of law is because our finals are not as much multiple choice, but more like essay questions and answering every single thing you remember based on the rule of law from every case, from every situation, from every exception to every majority decision to every minority decision. So yeah. And my last piece of advice for whoever is watching, and if you're starting your first year, is this: make sure that you are surrounding yourself with people who are just as focused, who take law school just as seriously, who are really like dedicated to the process. Your first year, a couple people will drop out. I've had somebody drop out the first week of law school. So make sure you find your crowd of people, or you find people who you know you can rely on, and you're not going to figure this out the first day, but through time, really have those people who push each other. It will get hard. There's times where you're so overwhelmed, and just having your community of friends, of people you will find that will help you get through the journey. After you've been doing it for like your second year or even your third year, you kind of have an idea of what's expected. It's more just doing it at that point, but your first year is like being thrown in the water and learning what to do. So you will get comfortable. I will say that after your first year, and even during your first year, you will really get comfortable. That's why my biggest piece of advice is to show up every day, keep up with your notes, review when you can. I wish I knew some of these things when I first started. I wish you all good luck for whoever's watching in your first year starting. Law school is not that scary, you guys. It's not, I promise. Get ready for your cold calls because it is coming, but make sure you know you stay ready. Don't get ready, stay ready. And stay ready by making sure you're reading. Stay ready by making sure that you're on top of what you're doing, and you will be fine. This is advice from a person who's now entering their third year of law school. We got this. I'm in it, you're in it, we're all in it. And if you are a law student and you're watching this video, comment any other piece of advice that you can give to a viewer who is scared to go to law school because we were all there before. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, or subscribe if this video really helped you. And let's get to 1,000 subscribers. Bye.